Dragon Alchemy. Are you ready to learn how to practically work with the dragons? Because I am. I'm ready to talk about it in any case. I feel like there's been a lot of theory on my channel and a lot of signs that you're, dragonkin or working with the dragons or whatever, but we haven't really talked much about how to actually work with the dragons. So we're gonna cover that in today's video. But first, for those of you who don't know me, my name's Hannah and I help people own their powers and step into the driver's seat of their own lives. So today's video is the perfect follow-up to last week's video, which tells you different signs that you may already have dragons around you. You may already be working with the dragons. But if you have dragons around you, how do you practically, consciously start working with them, right? Like, what can you even use dragons for? So that's what we're gonna start talking about in today's video, how you can use what I like to call dragon alchemy to initiate spiritual healing in your life. First, some recommended reading, and we can talk about the definition of alchemy before we dive into how you can use it with the dragons. So I recommend, if you have not heard about it, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. I probably butchered his name, but yeah, The Alchemist, famous book. Read that. It's a very, very powerful book. It's almost like an activation. It's like a fiction book, but it's basically like one big parable for alchemy and like the law of attraction and just being on a spiritual journey. And I can tell you, even though like the book at face value, it's not like this super interesting thing, it's an activation and you will feel lighter having read it. That book is all about true alchemy. So in the traditional sense, maybe what you've heard about is the saying of turning lead into gold. Did traditional alchemists actually turn lead into gold? Perhaps, but I think today what they're really getting to at the heart of that, and what we're going to focus on, is more of a spiritual, etheric kind of lead to gold situation. It's taking a lower density frequency and changing it into a higher density frequency. And you can do this with like anything in your life. If you literally have lead in your life, you can take it and transmute it to a higher frequency of gold. But what's more practical on the day-to-day for those of us that are just starting out with this whole magic thing is you can take the lead of dense emotions and you can lift that to a higher frequency. So there is this chart with like the different resonance of different emotions. I'll see if I can link that in the description or something like this. But basically every emotion that we have resonates at a specific frequency. And for example, fear is at the very bottom. It vibrates very slowly. It's got a low density energy to it. Whereas the opposite of that, love, it vibrates at a very high frequency. It's much, much lighter. And we can feel that in our energy, right? When you're in love, when you're happy, when you're joyful, you just feel like on cloud nine, as they say, right? You feel like you could fly. You just feel so light and youthful. Whereas when you feel sad and depressed, angry, it just feels like contracting, right? Like you're just stuck. So true alchemy is all about taking anything that's a lower density energy, transmuting it to a higher one. And dragons, as we've already discussed, if you've seen some of my other videos, they are higher dimensional beings. They vibrate at this higher frequency, but they're also masters of dimensional travel. So they can move between the different dimensions, the different frequencies. They can sort of alchemize themselves at will. So dragons are the perfect assistants, if you will, for engaging in alchemical work. As such, alchemy is just my personal favorite way to work with the dragons. So today I'm going to give you an actual ritual that you can do with the dragons. And I want you guys to take this seriously. Think of it as homework and let me know how it goes for you in the comments, please and thank you. I just feel really called to share this right now because at the time of filming this video, a lot's been stirred up in the collective. Those of us light bringers, as I like to call us, those of us that have a mission, chosen ones, whatever you want to say, a lot of stuff has been stirred up to be released. And I believe this ritual can help you release it. And no matter what time you're seeing this video, it's perfect divine timing for you, my friend. I promise, if you are resonating with this video, if it comes into your reality, you can use the ritual that I'm about to introduce to you. This ritual is going to allow you to work with the main 4 elemental dragons. So I'd encourage you, you can just call in any random dragon of the element that wants to assist you, as long as you set the intention for only beings with your highest good in mind to assist you. You can also work with the dragons that I recommend, my personal dragons. I have one for all the different elements, and I give you a little intro on them in my other videos, which maybe I'll link some of them up here or whatever. But yeah, you can use those dragons. You can just use random dragons, or maybe you already have a dragon or dragons that can assist you with each elemental affinity. But basically what you're gonna need for the ritual is 1 dragon per affinity, or a dragon that is able to work with all of the elements easily. And what this ritual is going to do, it's going to align you with your life's purpose. It's going to completely change your life. It's going to take care of all the different aspects of leveling up and moving through a dragon trial on your spiritual journey. It's going to help you release. It's going to help you heal. It's going to help you clear the space. And then it's going to ground that, integrate that into the physical 3D reality that we currently live in. So first off, I want you to set aside sacred time for this ritual. I would say at least a half hour, probably an hour is gonna be a magical time, a power hour, if you will. But set aside sacred time, and you can align this with the moons, the new moon or the full moon. That'll be supercharged time to do this ritual, but you don't have to do it then. You can do it at any time you feel like you need the support. You could even start to do this weekly to just build up your relationship with your dragons or the dragons in general. But we're gonna start, and I want you to think of something for the first step that you would like to release, or many things. You can just take everything that you want to release in your life. And I want you to write that down to kind of get it out of your system, if you will. Then we're gonna call upon a fire dragon or fire dragons to burn that, to literally burn that. That's what they're for. They clear shit like that. It's easy. You can call upon them to burn anything that is no longer serving you. And you can even at this time burn your paper itself. You don't have to. I mean, it's not viable for everyone to just burn stuff, but if you happen to have access to like a fire pit or a cauldron or some place you're able to safely burn, then I'd encourage you to do so, because that'll just anchor you that much more into this frequency, make it easier for your conscious mind to wrap its head around what is happening. After you have released, next you're going to call in your water dragons. So you want to call in water dragons to just kind of cool your energy, to clear it, to heal you. And you're going to invite in water dragons for healing. And for this one, I want you to choose at least one area of your life, something that you just want to heal. It could be your physical body, or it could be a relationship or a situation, something that you want healing. And you're just going to meditate. And for this one, I'd encourage you to have water of some sort. You could go sit in a bath for this part. You could go swimming for this part. You could just hold a glass of water and like drink it as you initiate this. But it's easy to get a hold of water in some capacity, so I would encourage you to definitely use some actual water if you can for this one. When you're ready to receive the healing from the water dragons and to clear out any of the dregs that the fire dragons created, this is when you will initiate the phase of interacting with the water in the 3D, okay? You'll just kind of open yourself up and just meditate for a few minutes. You can set a timer, maybe for 3 minutes. This is a divine feminine number. This would be perfect for that. Just 3 minutes where you're just meditating with the water, in the water, opening yourself up to healing and knowing that it's done when you call upon these water dragons. You don't have to think about it and be like, oh, I'm not feeling anything, it's not working. Just trust that it's done. Your intention is everything. Your intention is magic. Your intention is power. From there, we're going to call on our friends, the air dragons. So this is where you're going to invite in an air dragon or multiple air dragons to really finally clear any stagnant energy out of your life and to imbue you with inspiration of where to go moving forward. I just want you to, again, you can set a timer. This time, I feel like you want to set the timer for 4 minutes, all right? 4 minutes where you're going to meditate. You're going to call on the air dragons. Again, if you want to use some element for air, if you want to go out where it's windy, if you got a fan, something like that, you got incense or smoke, you can use that as well. You don't have to. You don't need to use any physical world things for any of this stuff, but it can certainly help. It can be a lot of fun too. So you can then invite the air dragons in for 4 minutes to just clear out your energy. Just become aware, be present with any sensations, feelings, thoughts that pop into your head. And know that these are thoughts that are leaving, probably, that no longer serve you. And then eventually towards the end, they're going to be thoughts that are going to push you forward, allow you to create a new life for yourself, to move forward on your path confident. So finally, with that being said, we're going to move on to our Earth Dragon phase. This is where we just bring it all back to the physical 3D realm. This is where we integrate it. This is the part I feel like most of us, starseed, otherkin, light bearer types, really need a lot of help with, because we spend a lot of time like up here in the clouds, like in the etheric, just like wishing things, right? And dreaming about things and doing the energetic work. And then we just kind of forget about the physical. So you're going to call in the earth dragons for the final step to help you actualize it in the physical 3D realm. And again, if you've got something to represent earth, you can use that. Crystals are a good example for this. You could just hold your crystal while you're meditating with the earth dragons and getting this this next phase, these next steps. And what you want here to conclude the ritual is you want at least one practical step of advice from the earth dragons that you can use as your next step moving forward. So a breadcrumb, if you will. That's kind of the purpose of this ritual. You want to clear old energy, set your intention where you're going with the new energy, and then you want a practical step that you can take. And then after the ritual, right after, you can take it, or the next day, but I would encourage you within a few days of doing the ritual, you want to take that step that you receive from the earth dragons. And this is going to help you just manifest like this. This is giving the dragons permission to assist you in bringing about that which you want to create. And you will see results. And I want to hear about your results in the comments, so let me know. And that, my friends, is our ritual. I hope that makes sense. I hope everything was clear. If not, feel free to ask me any questions that you may have. I do my best to read all the comments and answer all the questions that I get. So let me know and we can work it out. And like I said, I would love to hear from you guys in the comments. I would love to see how the ritual works for you, what your experiences are, with it, what dragons come through, like the whole shebang, because this is super exciting stuff. And I feel like we all really need it right now. Just me. So as usual, if you're vibing with this content and you want to take it deeper, you can work with me one-to-one. I offer mentorship and I'm actually taking on new clients right now. You can get a free intro call with me. Just head over to my coaching page on my website for that, or my just services page for a one-on-one reading. I also connect in with your dragon guide. If you're like, oh, I want to do these rituals with my own dragon guide, but I don't know anything about them. I offer a personal reading where I will connect in with your guide. I'll get a channeled message from them and I can draw a picture of them, which you can use to evoke them more easily. So we can do that. And then finally, there's the How to Train Your Dragon Guide eCOURSE, which can teach you how to do this stuff on the day-to-day, to get into a consistent practice of working with the dragons and integrating dragon energy into your daily life. So it becomes quite practical and it gets you the things that you want, like healthy relationships and and money and happiness, you know? And, you know, you just feel all around like a badass because you're working with dragons. Am I right? I would love to go deeper with you if any of that sounds cool and you're resonating with it. If not, that's cool too. Just give me a like and subscribe and hit that notification bell to be notified when I post new videos. Me and the dragons will love you forever, friend. Until next time, stay powerful.